Assalamu alaikum. Today, dear students, we will study the cell organelles and their function. Some of the organelles we have already studied. Today, we will study the other ones, including the endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum is a network of tubular and flat vesicular structure, as you can see from this picture. Here we can see some of the structure, they are covered by these special type of the black dots and some are without dots. So that this endoplasmic reticulum is of two types, that is the granular endoplasmic reticular network and the agranular endoplasmic reticulum. Granulars shown by all these black dots, which are actually the granules present over the endoplasmic reticulum. Its membrane is similar to the nuclear membrane and it has space inside the tubules, which is called the endoplasmic matrix. This space is covered with or having a watery medium that is different from the fluid in the cytosol outside the endoplasmic reticulum. Substances found in some parts of the cell enter the space of the endoplasmic reticulum and are then conducted to other parts of the cell. Also, the vast surface of the reticulum and the multiple enzyme systems attached to its membrane provide machinery for a major share of the metabolic function of the cell. This is the rough or granular endoplasmic reticulum. These granules actually they are the ribosomes. These are present, the reticulum is called the granular endoplasmic reticulum and these ribosomes they are composed of a mixture of RNA and protein and their function is to synthesize new protein molecules in the cell. So these granules they are the major site to synthesize the proteins. This is an animation to show how the ribosomes they act. You can see the protein synthesis process of the cell. Through the ribosomes, these amino acids combine different types of the amino acids to form the different types of the proteins. The next is the rough endoplasmic reticulum. This animation is showing how the amino acids they are present, they are forming and synthesizing the protein and how the protein particles they are excluded from the rough endoplasmic reticulum. You can see this whole process and now the folded protein particles in the form of chain they are extruded outside the endoplasmic reticulum. So I hope now you are able to understand how the protein synthesis take place. Then comes the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. You can see from this picture also, this is without black dots that are the actually the ribosome. So without ribosome, the endoplasmic reticulum is called the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The growing endoplasmic reticular membrane bursts continuously, forming transport vesicles, most of which migrate to the Golgi apparatus. So you can see that these vesicles, they are extruded out and they soon reach to the next structure that is called the Golgi apparatus. The Golgi apparatus, actually the membrane is composed of, and the structure of the membrane is similar to that of the smooth endoplasmic reticulum and plasma membrane. It is composed of 4 or more stacked layers of the flat vesicular structures. This you can see that the vesicles from the endoplasmic reticulum, they are coming to the next, that is the Golgi apparatus, and this is the Golgi apparatus, the layers of the Golgi apparatus, after which the food vesicles, they are formed. From this you can see easily that the food vesicles, packed vesicles, they are come in contact with the membrane, and from there the material, the substance which is formed, that is excreted out of the cell. So substances formed in the endoplasmic reticulum, they are processed, phosphorylated or glycosidated. They are processed and concentrated, sorted and packed for the secretion. Before they come out of the cell, firstly they must attach to the cell membrane, from where they are excreted out. This is the animation to show how the function of the Golgi apparatus is taking place inside the cell. Different type of the proteins which are formed by the ribosomes of the endoplasmic reticulum, they come to the Golgi apparatus and then they are packed here. This is the packing. And after that they come out of the Golgi apparatus. The secretions which comes out through the process, that is called the exocytosis. Exo means outer. Cytosis is a process related to the cell. So the substances through the exocytosis process, they come out of the cell. The secretory vesicles containing proteins synthesized in the rough endoplasmic reticulum, but from the Golgi apparatus, as I have told you previously also, fuse with the plasma membrane to release the contents. You can see from here that these are the secretory vesicles. Firstly, they attach to the membrane of the cell, and from there the secretions, they excreted out of the cell, and the remaining part of the vesicle, that is the packing, that comes again inside to gain the more substance. So the substance is released and the vacant vacuole, that is returned to the cell. Again, this animation just to understand how the vacuole is formed and working storage containers of the cell. Different nutrients, they are contained inside the vacuole and then they are attached to the membrane, either the water molecules or the other nutrients. They come in contact with the membrane and then they are released from the cell. Lysosome, these are very specific cell organelle regarding the digestive enzymes. One more thing about the lysosome and the next that topic, that is the peroxisome. You must remember that these topics, they are very small, very short, but their importance is so much that they can be asked in the Viva or in the SCQ or through the MCQ. What are the lysosomes? What are the lysosomal enzymes? How it acts? All these questions can be asked in the Viva also. So never miss these short topics which are having the important Viva question or SEQ. So one of these topics, that is the lysosome, often asked in the SEQ. These are the vesicular organelle formed from the budding Golgi apparatus and contain a number of the hydrolytic enzymes. These enzymes may be phosphatases, nuclease, proteases, lipid degrading enzymes, and lysosome digest the bacteria also. So whenever there is any vacuole vesicle having the digestive substance inside, it comes inside the cell. Different lysosomal enzymes, they act on it so that the digestive product, they are degraded, and the residual or the waste material, that again excreted from the cell. If any thing which is not required by our body or degradation process, that is also taken from the lysosome. So these enzymes, they are the digestive enzyme and degraded the substances, different substances also, or different tissues also. So you must remember that ordinarily the membrane surrounding the lysosome prevents the enclosed hydrolytic enzyme from coming in contact with other substances in the cell, so that they prevent their digestive action. However, some conditions of the cell break the membranes of some of the lysosome so that these digestive enzymes, they are released. They split the organic substances with which they come in contact into small, highly diffusible substances. For example, amino acids or glucose, like that. In this way, these lysosomes, they are able to digest the different digestive vesicles. Again, through this animation, I want to show you how the lysosome, they are going to act on the food vesicle. You can see the substance that comes in contact with the lysosome. Lysosomal enzymes act on this food vesicle, digest it, and in the end, the waste material, that is going outside the cell through the exocytosis process. Again, this one showing the action of the lysosome, how it digests the material. Material comes inside the lysosome and its enzymes act on it and digest the substance. One more very important thing, that is the lysosomal storage disease. Often when you are asked about the lysosomal functions, its enzymes, so at the same time very specific storage disease can be asked also. Absence of one or more hydrolysis enzyme of the lysosome can lead to this condition, which is called the lysosomal storage disease. As the result of it, lysosomes become engorged with the undigested substrate. Its one example is Tahçe's disease. I am not going in much more detail of this lysosomal storage disease. About the disease, these few lines are more than sufficient for you at this stage. The next very important structure, that is the peroxisomes. All these, they are different types of the enzymes which are helpful to digest the different food materials. They act on the food particles, digest them so that in the end the waste material that is excreted out of the cell. So the next group of the enzyme that are the peroxisomes. They are similar physically to lysosome, but they are different in two important ways. Number one thing, that is, they are believed to be formed by the self-replication. So this thing you must remember, that they are self-replicating also rather than from the Golgi apparatus. So, and the second one thing is that they contain oxidases rather than hydrolases. Several of the oxidases are capable of combining oxygen with hydrogen ions derived from different intercellular chemicals to form hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is a highly oxidizing substance and is used in association with catalase, which is another oxidase enzyme present in large quantities in peroxisome. And all these, they are helpful to oxidize many substances that might otherwise be poisonous for the cell. The next thing is the secretory vesicles. You can see these are the different vesicles and they are named as the secretory vesicles. One of the important functions of many cells is secretion of the special chemical substances. Almost all such secretory substances are formed by the endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus system, and are then released from the Golgi apparatus into the cytoplasm in the form of storage vesicle named as secretory granules or secretory vesicles. The next structure is the mitochondria. Many of these structures you have an idea during your intermediate studies about these. You have studied the structure of the cell and its organelles in much more detail. At this stage, we are just introducing these organelles again to have a better concept, and in the following lectures, we will follow all this knowledge so that your knowledge should be resumed and updated, and then we continue other systems of the physiology subject. So basically we are going through the very simple things towards the complex things. Our aim is to understand the complex things, but we must continue it from very early beginning stage. So you have a better idea about the structure of the mitochondria, but here we study it in somewhat more detail and just to have a concept of the mitochondria to continue further details of the physiology. Mitochondria are present in all areas of each cell cytoplasm, but the total number per cell varies from less than 100 up to the several thousand, depending on the amount of energy required by the cell. So basically, these are the powerhouse of the cell, and without them, cells would be unable to extract energy from the nutrients. And as you have, if you have no energy stored, so the cell is unable to perform any kind of the function. It is mainly composed of two lipid layers, outer and the inner. Many enfoldings of the inner membrane form shells on which the oxidative enzymes they are attached. The inner cavity of the mitochondria is filled with the matrix that contains large quantities of dissolved enzymes So that these all things combine, these enzymes operate in association with the oxidative enzyme on the shells to cause the oxidation of the nutrients, thereby forming carbon dioxide and water at the same time, releasing energy. The liberated energy is used to synthesize a high energy compound that is called the ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. After that, this substance, this high energy substance, then transported out of the mitochondria and diffuses throughout the cell to release its own energy wherever it is needed to perform the cellular function. So this is the way how the mitochondria is helpful and why it is called the powerhouse of the cell. Through this animation, I am showing the function of the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse. You can see this one. With this, we complete our lecture. Stay with me for the following lectures about the cell organelles. Allah Hafiz.